When I look at the circumstances surrounding the ongoing crime wave sweeping through the diverse and enriched culturally nations, I can't help but ask a question. Where are the fathers, the brothers, the sons, women and girls victimized by hordes of men from foreign backgrounds? What are they doing? Do they not even have the most basic instinct of revenge if your mother gets raped? I would like to think I would do something, and I think most of the male population on the planet thinks they would get revenge for their mother, right? So why, not only now, but generally in history, we can't seem to find revenge anywhere? The little man never fights back against the bullies, the oppressors, the raiders, the pillagers. He always just covers in fear, no matter what happens to those he professes to love and cherish and protect. I guess I don't want to broaden this topic on all of history, so let's stick to modern times and what I can identify as the primary reason. 12 years of imprisonment during formative years kills man's spirit. Literally, I don't mean figuratively. Not a metaphor, not an allegory, not anything, but plain and simple death of humanity and emotion. All you are allowed to feel after these 12 years of brainwashing is the monotony of our common drudgery. At least that would be perfect for Prussians who designed it. All the emotions you have and actions you take are in defiance of that conditioning, that taming of man's nature. I think the brutality of world wars had a direct correlation to the education system, at the very least contributed. You were taught and prepared for bravery, for defying the law in support of justice. If vigilante spirit was glorified among nations, crime would not exist. Imagine entire Earth populated with wannabe punishers, wannabe Batmans. How could they dare rape our mothers and daughters? The thesis of Red Pill, Tradcons and other weird so-called masculinity coaches, that men were protectors and are, even in modern world, supposed to protect their women, is simply ridiculous and couldn't be any further from the truth. When is the last time you heard about a man actually taking revenge for assault his daughter or wife suffered? Oh, never probably. Yet we know that, for example, numbers get close to 1 million assaulted women in the United Kingdom and Germany. France probably multiple millions of cases. Nothing happens, nobody has even an ounce of courage. The height of white man's rage was a couple of football tags burning a random library. Ridiculous. Obviously, since the complete seizure of war machines on part of the state, no revolution or uprising is really possible. What I am asking is not even for men to awaken, no. My only issue is for men to stop lying straight to their mother's face that they would protect her. Stop lying to my face about how you are a fierce, big, angry gorilla, and how you would dispose of potential rapist of your mother or wife or sister. No, you wouldn't. No, you don't. You are a little harmless lamb. Clearly the only thing you are capable of is running your mouth. Otherwise, we would all hear the revenge stories happening in equal numbers to crime stories. We would not have the outrageous rates of infidelity. Men were actually capable of violence, so on and so forth. There are a plethora of doom prophets, harbingers of apocalypse, infesting YouTube all over. For years now they professed the crash is just around the corner, revolution is coming any second now, utter rubbish and impossibility. Men never fight back against those who exploit them. It might be some sort of genetic trait from tribal times where the strongest one would simply torture and beat down all the worker drones who didn't even have the right to touch a woman. Our remaining monkey brains or something. I infer from the absolute and universal proliferation of weakness. In Chinese history they only revolted after millions died of starvation. French Revolution and Let Them Eat Cake clearly tell you that French were starving before growing some spine and rising up. Empty stomach seems the only cure for peasants' lack of courage. In the 21st century, a famine is extremely far-fetched. We waste copious amounts of food and have the opposite problem of obesity. Equals All the scammers who prey on doomerism for views are lying to get some money and fame. Just stop. Men are too docile to ever again take arms. I'd love to be proven wrong, though. Jobs that require care, require hard work, high degree of responsibility and self-discipline are going out with a sad whimper. Paramedics, nurses, firemen, police are chronically understaffed, underpaid, and overworked. But that's another topic, slight digression. Police aren't even screened properly because there are so few applicants. Cities are just forced to accept everybody who randomly rocks up and hollers, "Hey, I want to be a policeman," and do whatever I want. No, I don't know even a single law. And people like this get hired with no training, straight on the streets, arresting people for mean tweets and serving the totalitarian state. Because they are allowed to oppress others in the system. They are above the people they police. So they get hired on that littlest of tiny slivers of power. So-called human rights lawyers like that evil Prime Minister of UK further try to deny the most natural instinct of nature, retribution for people who did heinous deeds. I recently heard that his whole life the guy was protecting terrorists, rapists and pedophiles caught in Britain. With success, may I add. What sort of society allows for success in defending proven terrorists and mass murderers? Well, German one, a century ago, where they didn't even lock up literal cannibal child rapists, just let them out back into their mansions and castles awarded specifically for their deeds. Hey, just following orders. Those cannibals were allowed to breed, have sons and daughters, even assume political roles. Madness. Complete absence of basic retribution. There were multiple cases that I remember where some utterly bizarre creatures, I don't think deserving to be called human or man, went to court and knelt before the criminal who killed their daughter or other close relative. Those crazy creatures literally apologized and forgave on the floor of the courthouse during trial the criminals who did the crime, victimizing their wives, daughters, or sons. This alone doesn't really indicate much besides a pandemic of mental illnesses born out of ennui, feeling of emptiness when all your basic needs are fulfilled, yet you have no purpose. I think modern society produces outrageous levels of ennui, needs, incels, and so on. It's coming back to the docile nature of men. Some, even if presented with an opportunity of just revenge, deny their duty. Their bloodline means nothing to them, to the point of random stranger's punishment, outweighing in their hearts the dead or raped relative. Men even defend obvious injustices done against them in the name of pure sexism, with no logic involved. Men's prison, fine, and other punishments for crime are enforced 65% more harshly than if a woman committed them. Yes, this is actually true across all Western nations. Women simply don't go to jail, don't pay fines, might as well be completely immune to basic prosecution for their wrongdoings. Why? Well, sexism and weak men not able to stand up for themselves even if clearly oppressed. I actually can't imagine what goes on in the heads of men who hear it and shrug, aren't concerned, don't care, about the state and government clearly working only to oppress half the population that they are a part of. Didn't they hear about equality? Aren't they good little feminist allies who can't go a minute without mentioning equality? Why are you not outraged? Why are you not immediately blackpilled like I was? Just incredible lack of awareness to reality. But it might not be entirely their fault. Constant brainwashing shuts down their minds and cowardice doesn't even acknowledge the need to fight for their rights. To do something, anything. Ironically, women seem more courageous to speak up about their injustices. Maybe because they are never punished and get no pushback for it. Men seem to just roll over, expose their bellies, wag a tail, and capitulate immediately whenever a woman demands a privilege. I'm simply embarrassed to watch men become lying clown dogs. First statement, I just want men to stop lying about protection they supposedly provide for their women, when the basic necessity of revenge is never fulfilled. Second statement, times are great for the state apparatus and bureaucrats. Neoaristocracy shall never suffer again, despite prophets of doom harping on about incoming revolution for a while now. Population is way too divided and docile. Third statement, ironically, women seem more courageous to speak up about their injustices, maybe because they are never punished and get no pushback for it, while men seem to just roll over, expose their bellies, wag a tail, and capitulate immediately whenever a woman demands a privilege.